Okay, there's the Arch of Titus way down here, 70 AD. These are different arches.
Brand comes from, and the whoosh on the sneakers, the wing. And she's holding up the armor of the fallen soldiers.
Nike. That's where the shoe comes from.
Two arches on either side. What's particularly interesting, if you look close to it, if you look down at the carving at the base of the columns, you'll see a remarkable rendering of the prisoners. Because, of course, the Roman custom was to take these people prisoner and then to bring them to the Colosseum and use them as fodder for the games in the Colosseum. The part you want to see. And the
Prisoners.
are indicative of the foreigner. And then you'll see how carefully carved the chains are. You see how they
Changed.
they paid a lot of attention to the idea of taking these people in. It's very touching. That's a daddy Parthian. He's saying goodbye to his baby Parthian. And it's
Wow. Daddy Parthian being taken back to Rome to be put in the Colosseum to fight. That takes us to this building, she says. Now it's turned into a big production, she said. This is in her.
Right, sewer cover.
This is the. This is carved into the. This is the part you see here, of course, is constructed. So what people are looking down, and what we're looking down into, is carved into the rock. It was an underground cell.
Oh, excuse me. Underground cell, Roman prison.
Better. Exile was the hardest punishment they could come up with. So basically, a prison was a holding cell awaiting execution. And this prison cell was well known from antiquity. It's the prison cell where Jugurtha, the king of the Numidians, starved to death because he made Sulla angry during the triumphal parade. This is the prison where Vercingetorix was beheaded after Caesar defeated him. But then in the 1st century AD, the names of the prisoners change. This is the prison cell to which St. Peter and St. Paul were brought. They were detained in this prison in 64 AD, awaiting punishment, awaiting execution in the wake of the Great Fire of Rome and these intense persecutions begun by the Emperor Nero. The cell this is the upper level. There was a little round grate which you can actually see from, there. People were dropped through the grate into the cell on the lower level where the executioner would be waiting. The famous event of that prison cell is they had 2 guards who were set to watch them. They were Paracelsus and Martinianus. Paracelsus and Martinianus are converted by the witness of St. Peter and St. Paul, and they asked to be baptized. There was no water in the cell, so Peter took his staff and he hit the floor of the cell, and water sprang up from the rock, which sounds vaguely familiar to something that Moses did, and which, since the origin, that image of Moses, the origin of Christian imagery is always an allusion to baptism. And so he baptizes them. They are the ones who will free Peter, and later on today we'll be driving by the point where St. Peter was escaping from Rome after Paracelsus and Martinianus freed him from his prison, said, "Get out of town fast." He headed that way towards the Appian Way down to the Quo Vadis Church, and we'll pick that up a little bit later. And then he came back and he waited it out here. On June 29th, The two of them were taken from this prison cell. The Golden Legend tells us this beautiful salute as the Doctor of the Gentiles and the Prince of the Apostles embrace one last time. This concord between these two apostles, which is very important to the early church, that always be understood that these two are in perfect concord. This embrace, as Paul salutes the fisher of men, and as Peter salutes the Doctor of the Gentiles, and they went in two different directions. Peter went that way to be crucified upside down in Nero's circus, and Paul went that way to be killed in the Tre Fontane. And this point, Rome was reborn one more time. We had Castor and Pollux, this great dream the Romans have of the twins that are men that become gods. Then we have the foundation of Rome on the Palatine Hill by the twins Romulus and Remus. But Peter and Paul dying on the same day makes them twins in their dies natales. They were born the same day in heaven. And the new twins that were born from this spot, again in this antiquity at the base of this Capitoline Hill of the Roman religion, the new twins, Peter and Paul, will be the ones that will lead Rome into its real identity as the eternal city. And so this is the Mamertine prison. There's been a big excavation, a lot of work on it. And one of the things that is particularly interesting that has come to light is that this has been a devotional space as soon as it was possible to be so. The painting that they found down there, you can see some remnants of it, dates all the way back to the 6th century. So as soon as Christianity is legalized and the Christians get themselves inserted into the forum, the Christians begin to paint and to decorate. The Christians begin to paint and to decorate in this church. And so it shows us the beginning of the itinerary of Peter. You could come over here and see this little shrine in this dank little cell. You could go over and see the brick wall on Peter's where Peter's tomb was. I mean, this idea of itinerary of Peter, which you are going to be following over. So we're going to start.
Wow. Okay, pause for memory saving. Okay, this is original foundation of this road. Okay, I'm going to start preserving memory because this is going to be a long day, but that was absolutely incredible of an introduction into Rome and Peter and Paul and where they were martyred. Okay, we are rounding and heading in a different direction now. Okay, Augustus was the nephew of Caesar. He grew up here, and in AD, Nero's fire spread from here to here. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to put it on pause for a minute. Colosseum's built on part of Nero's house. So the fire was 9 days?
The fire raged on
9 days. Took out 10 of 14 quarters of the city. Wow. She does all the guiding for superstars like Newt Gingrich. She's amazing. Okay, I'm going to put this on pause again. Okay, bathroom break. This is a good time to put this one on pause or put it on hold or actually stop this tape and start again.